You know, when I first started to cook, if I saw a recipe that called for a potato, I immediately went to the old standard russet potato. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know that there was a difference in the kind of potato to use. But the more I learned about cooking, the more I realized that there are different types of potatoes and they work differently, better or worse, for certain recipes. So I wanted to share that information with you today. So basically, there are two types of potatoes. There are a bunch of varieties, but they fall into two different types. There is a starchy potato, which is like that standard baker, the russet potato that we're all familiar with. And there is the waxy potato, which is like a Yukon Gold potato or a red potato. Now, the starchy potatoes have a thicker skin, they are lower in moisture, and they are also higher in starch. These are the kind of potatoes that when you bake them, they have that fluffy inside. When you mash them, they stay fluffy, they don't get gummy. So russet potatoes and even Peruvian purple potatoes are those starchy type of potatoes. Then there are the waxy potatoes. Like I mentioned, we have a red potato, a Yukon Gold potato, and these are actually thinner skinned. You know when you're cleaning a red potato and sometimes you actually rub a little of that skin off, so that's how you can tell, number one, it's a waxy potato. And it is actually higher in moisture and lower in starch than the starchy potato. So these are the kind of potatoes that hold together really well when you are boiling them or sautéing them. So if I was going to make a potato salad, I would probably choose a waxy potato over a starchy potato, because when you boil a starchy potato, it kind of disintegrates a little bit in the water, but when you boil a waxy potato, it kind of holds its shape a little bit more, and so it works really well for that kind of use. So, I'm a huge potato fan, and I wanted to share with you one of my favorite recipes today, and that's for homemade French fries with a little bit of truffle salt and Parmesan cheese. They are so good. The key about homemade French fries is that you're going to cook them twice. They're really simple. The first time you blanch them in kind of a low temperature oil, and the second time you cook them in a higher temperature oil and you get that amazing crispness. And I've tossed a little bit of truffle salt on the top of these and Parmesan, which is really, I wish you could smell these, my mouth is just watering. The truffle salt is kind of garlicky and rich, and then the cheese is a little bit sharp, and it's really, really wonderful. So I hope you enjoy the recipe.